So you kids had Fortnite.
Oh wait, I probably think of that.
This is great. I loved it.
Won or lost. He is the computer in this scenario.
Oh God!
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Dude!
Okasan has time only for the track team.
Hey, look at it this way. It's not a 12th pinball challenge.
We're gonna eat you for Paula's dinner.
Yeah, that was a roller coaster ride of pain.
We did again? Hey everybody!
Hey!
Hello!
So it is the end of another season of IONGAMING here at Studio. This is season 4 for us. And after...
Guys, we've been doing this for 4 years.
I know. It was one of those things that I kind of stepped back and was like, we started the channel December 2015. And so much has changed in those 4 years. It's been kind of a whirlwind. Big elephant in the room, first thing I want to mention. The first 3 years we were doing this, we had kind of about a 50-person-a-year kind of trickle of traffic. And if you are seeing this, there's a 90% chance the reason you're at this channel right now is because of this season. So thank you very much. This has been kind of an awesome transformational year for us in terms of the scale of the channel. We went from about 150 to 400.
Yeah, which, like, all told, at the end of the day, still not a huge number, but that's still triple our viewer base, so we're kind of on board with that.
We went through the comments on our videos, we saw your feedback, and we got more subs.
We got comments on videos, which in and of itself is a new thing entirely.
Engagement. Who knew? It feels good going down.
So, major thank you to Berserk Studios for making Just Shapes and Beats.
Carry me, daddy.
We bought and played the game. We did our due diligence here.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, our season list was kind of a long one, but also kind of a short one. Like, we had a lot of episodes. We had as many, really, videos come out this season, especially since Dicey Dungeons, Halo 2, and Hatoful were still rolling through the remainder of those.
Yeah, we didn't do as many, like, smaller, shorter games as we normally do.
Yeah.
Like, Hatoful Boyfriend is an experience. You know, Halo 2 is
To be continued.
an ongoing experience.
Yeah.
It's the drama. You gotta leave the cliffhanger for the next season.
Well, we have a few of those. We have a couple of ongoing series right now that are going to last into the next season because, like, we started Halo way too late.
Right.
Yeah.
We started Dicey Dungeons extraordinarily too late.
No regrets. It's such a good one, though.
Oh, absolutely. But, like, that's not a short game, and we're like, hey, it's November. Let's start Dicey Dungeons.
I also like how this is the year of the season that we were like, okay, no pinball. We're not playing pinball. And now we're like, oh, what happened to all of our short playthroughs?
And then we open the closet and all these pinball games are falling out.
No, we're going to open the closet and then, like, on wheels with a fog machine, Black Knight 2000 just out of the door.
Give me your money.
Hey, Shane, when I say Winterion, what do you think?
Hey, have you guys seen the most recent season of IONGAMING from Winterion?
The what? What?
You know, IONGAMING, Winterion, Winterion.
Winterion? What's that?
I think of a tire iron you use in winter.
Winterion? Winterion?
Some people were calling them Winterion, and some people were calling them Winterion.
I think of a DVD-esque collection of people, like the Criterion Collection, that package together all the great things about games.
IONGAMING? Ian Gaming? Winterion. Winterion.
That's what I always read it
That
as.
sounds right, yeah.
What is a winter iron?
No, that's stupid. That's winter. Eon, like the season in the years.
Winterion.
So they review snow.
Can you review snow?
What? What is it? What is it supposed to be? It's so confusing.
We got it right. It's Winterion.
So yeah,
you can do it. You can do it.
I guess that does lead nicely into our first segment, which is favorite moments from season 4. I know having Alex here on the show was really fun, and we got to play something that I had wanted to play for like 4 seasons, and I'd originally planned on dragging them through.
I'm sorry.
Which was Corandia.
We lived it. You're fine.
Yeah, the amount of Corandia references that were in like our first collective, like the 3 of us right here, were all part of like a D&D game that like shaped our lives. But like so many of the references from that game were from Corandia, so it was really kind of cool to sit down and be like, oh hey, I know how this works because I've lived through this. Oh, you put down a berry and it lights up a room, and you can only go so far before you start getting. Okay, no, I get this.
Wow, this was a pain in the ass the first time.
Yeah, the Shadow Race among 100 things that I stole from Corandia 1 for our first collected like long form D&D game. But that was also our first LP together.
Yeah.
It was a blast. Did you find it challenging, fun, like?
Well, I liked playing through a game that I knew like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was very, it was easy to jump right into it. And my favorite part, I guess, about it was doing the fire caves with the guide.
That's right. Cause
like having the map, it took out all the frustration of it and made you still cling to the story that was happening.
Yeah, it's a very trial and error based with the way that they do the Fireberry caves. So you kind of have to learn the mechanic and then just trudge and draw the map out as you go.
Right.
It's sort of a holdover, and we talked about it a bit when we did the recording. It's a holdover like those mud days where they got the game from. But being able to do it with the walkthrough map.
Yeah, I think it really took out the frustration of it. And if we saw a Brandon death, it was because we wanted to see Brandon die.
We were very thorough about that.
Look, I was sitting there as an innocent bystander. I didn't know anything about the game itself other than a couple of the weird mechanics. So when I saw Brandon get eaten by a frog in the pond, no! Possibly my favorite adventure game death I've ever seen.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Better than Graham being slapped by a bear.
I mean, that's pretty
good.
No, okay, so if Brandon getting eaten by a frog is number 1, number 2 through 10 are all Graham dying somehow in King's Quest V.
That's probably my favorite.
I smell a BuzzFeed listicle coming on.
And welcome back to Watch Mojo. We're listing our top 10 King's Quest deaths today.
Death number 7. We don't have the cool swoop animation though with these little letters, but
the one that they've had since like 2012.
Yeah.
They just don't have to update it because it's like, oh good, it's Watch Mojo back up to their shit
if
again.
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It prints views.
It really does though. I'm so jealous of Watch Mojo's audience because it's so low effort content.
I think my favorite season 4 memory, I had a bunch of them, and it's weird, but I think it's Balloon Fight. And the challenge episode for Balloon Fight, because not only did we go through like 5 rounds of it, and there was this increasing tension of like trying to survive and bounce around, sort of the freneticism of learning the mechanics and the controls as we were doing that. But also just because the challenge episodes really sort of, I think, force us out of our comfort zones a little and add just, because most of the times we do the LPs, there are games we know or games we're comfortable with or games we've practiced in a little bit. And oftentimes for the challenge episodes, we don't have that. So there's sort of that, like the game's familiar and yet unknown all at once because you don't have the muscle memory down. We haven't done it in a while.
Right.
You know, despite what you say, I don't practice all week before we record them. So.
You can say that as much as you want. We're never going to believe it.
Except for when he loses.
Yeah.
Which I
Which
think
he did.
I did. Yeah, Matt.
I think I won that one.
Matt took Balloon Fight, I believe.
Just to throw us off.
Thanks,
An inside
Dan.
job. Well, there was one moment, I can't remember what game it was, you accused me of practicing...
Probably Chrono Trigger, the race.
It might have been that.
You're just too good at
That was really good too. It was fun, I'll admit.
So I won the sanctioned races of those, but I think Matt got the highest score.
And
of
I
the
posted
race.
I posted both because I always try to go back if we have extra stuff from older seasons, 1, 2, or 3, whatever, make sure that if I still have that footage to make stuff, you know, post hoc. So editing the Chrono Trigger challenge was something we did technically this year. And I think I posted winners for both like official and like extra race. So I think you both got a star in that.
Aw.
So
yours was just silver because it wasn't sanctioned.
I'll take it. There's an asterisk next to my star.
right.
You got the Reddit silver with like the crappily drawn S on it.
I mean, our logo is literally an asterisk. So
That's fair.
How about you, Matt?
Favorite
season
of the
4?
season? aside from starting up Halo 2, I think just honestly playing Shapes and Beats was just so much fun, just as a collective effort. And I don't know, just going through the highs and lows of that phenomenal story. Honestly, the twists are kind of neat in that game, though.
Yeah.
To be fair,
it's one of those games. It's like it really is just shapes and beats, but in just being shapes and beats, it becomes so much more. There's not a word spoken in that game.
Yeah.
There's a couple of colorful language symbols that the foul-mouthed helicopter screams out every once in a while.
Why?
This is very Kubertian.
Yeah. But like it has a story, it has a narrative, it has character to all of its characters, but it's just shapes and beats.
I think what was cool about it is it was the first game we'd done for the Switch. And it showed me, I think, how easy it is to like have the Joy-Cons or the Roads or whatever. Though we did have the one flip up where we had to like swap remotes and hit like the L and R.
Joy-Con's the original,
right?
So has that problem.
But like I think that's going to be a system that's really easy for us like going forward to do stuff for. Because they're coming out with so much for it, like indie wise, so it makes it a little easier for us to grab things on that and record especially for things like platforms and like where we can record on PC. We did that, a couple times this season. But our setup here is really like keyboard and mouse kind of centric for that. I think the Switch affords us an opportunity to do a lot of some of those indie games that are coming out for it with a much more comfortable couch control.
Yeah, and the Switch Pro controller is like my number 2 all time of controllers. It is the most comfortable thing.
It really is. It's my favorite. Yeah.
I'm going to be a DualShock fanboy for the rest of my life. I think I've just kind of had to accept that. But the Switch Pro controller is
You can put the
comfy.
Switch Pro controller down, so if it ever adds in like Netflix or something, it's not going to start fast forwarding through stuff.
That is
true. That's a good point.
Oh,
that's
those
great
those
point.
tail triggers on the PlayStation controller.
Yep.
Damn, I don't even have a response to that. That's just too good of a point.
That's the one downfall for me for the DualShock.
That's fair.
How about you, Richard?
I'm kind of with Matt in that playing shapes and beats. Like I know it's responsible for the growth of our channel this year, but at the same time, like there's a reason I wanted to play it. It remains one of my favorite games because it's a good solo player, like single player or a cooperative game. It's also just a fun party game to sit down and like you can just with a couple of friends. Hey, let's just play through a couple of dope beats and see if who dies the least. It's kind of a fun thing. I still play it online every once in a while, just like with randos, because it's like a drop in drop out sort of thing like that. Doing one of my favorite RPGs of all time in Final Fantasy IV was really cool. I mean, I think that's I think that's something Dan and I have both been wanting to do for a long time.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah, and kind of going back and forth doing a sort of co-op run with that, I think was really sort of like, I don't know what the right word is, cathartic, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I got Final Fantasy for, age 7 or so, and that was the game that sort of explained to me that games can be books as much as they can be games. Because prior to that, I had almost all arcade-type experience with games. I had played the first Final Fantasy, but I was too young to really get it at the time, on the NES, and so...
So Final Fantasy IV was, like, one of my first RPGs. I grew up at a little bit of personal lore to Morpheus here. Some Lorceus, if you will.
Wow.
Nice.
When I was growing up, like, my formative years gaming, I was right on that edge of Super Nintendo into the next era. So it was like I had at the same time hooked up on my old CRT like 12-inch screen, the SNES and then the PlayStation. My first RPG for the PlayStation was Final Fantasy VII, and my little like 8-year-old brain was like, "This is so complex. This is crazy. There's so much going on. I'm going to go to Blockbuster and see if there's anything else like this." And lo and behold, there's Final Fantasy IV and all of its beautiful simplicity.
Just like the light shining on it.
Yeah, basically. So I picked them up and I kind of played them through together at the same time. And like Final Fantasy IV sort of really got me into the habit of like defining roles for characters and like the just general growth systems and like finding and how exploration is greatly rewarded for giving you items and things that help you progress throughout the game. And that was what helped me go back and restart my save and actually beat Sephiroth, and I've since become way better at those games.
He had it coming.
Yeah, he really did. But like that formative memory of like Final Fantasy IV being such an important game for me in terms of my growth as a gamer, that was like, it was really cool to be able to play that, I think.
I like how 8-year-old you was looking at Final Fantasy VII like, wow, this is really complex and involved. I don't know if I can do this. And then there's 31-year-old Matt who's looking at Final Fantasy VIII like, wow, this is really complex and involved.
Now, I word it like that, but the truth is, like, 8-year-old me was screaming 8-year-old curse words, like, son of a biscuit, Sephiroth, why can't I beat him?
Franklin Delano.
Yeah, whatever I was screaming when I was 8 years old, I don't remember. I don't think I started really cursing until I was 11.
We weren't allowed to say like crap.
Yeah, we had to say like, no, you gotta say crud or something. No, that implies you're saying crap. So we get in trouble for that.
They knew what we wanted to say.
Oh yeah, no, I had those parents, and maybe not like they weren't. My parents weren't Catholic, but I had the same. Like I would say "darn." I was like, "Well, what are you implying?" You know, it's like, what's the difference? Just alternating capital letters, like. Man,
I had it easy. All right, Aaron.
Okay, so for me personally, I have 3 words for you, and they are live, laugh, Leviathan. So I've always wanted to play through Final Fantasy IV with Richard because I really wanted to get his juicy strats. So that was a big highlight for me. It's the game that got me into JRPGs, and I really love the game. It's pretty close to my heart. I'm not getting into my deep lore like you. We don't have time for that. So, anyways.
No lore bomb.
No. Okay, that didn't really work, but you tried.
It's a half rhyme.
Lorcius was good. Lorcius was
just stick with that. Don't quit your day job.
I don't have a day job. This is my day job.
Anyways, so I guess like the big highlight for me as a whole is just getting together and doing like the wholesome games we've been wanting to do since I think season 1 or season 2. I don't remember when it was. I was like, let's do Hatful Boyfriend, you know? And like it was so long ago that we've switched who we're gonna be doing this game with like 5 times. So it was nice to be able to play it with Alex and Momo, and I say it was nice to be able to in past tense, like we finished it. We've got
we completed a story.
We got the neutral ending.
Yes.
And now I feel like if we go back, where do we go from here? We have to play through it.
Should we start over? I don't know. I'm overwhelmed.
Okay, so what do the viewers want to see?
Answer in the comments below.
So what do you guys want to see? The people who watched it.
Well, as I'm still in the process of like editing and kind of getting the rest of the Hatful episodes out there, I think the tricky part's gonna be if you pick it up again, the voicing, because it was like who do you like go back and study who voiced who?
So you don't understand? Those roles were a part of us. They were in our hearts.
It's in the blood now. That's never.
It's never gonna leave.
So Momo's gonna be screaming "coo" angrily for the rest of her life.
They all ended up sounding the same anyway.
Yeah, for me personally, it's like I don't consider games beaten when it comes to this channel unless you get the good ending. So get the.
I wonder if this game has a good ending. Like, which bird do we consider to be the best bird?
Maybe you find another human.
And when you say good ending, do you mean like the happy everyone lives ending, or like this is good ending? Because the genocide run in Undertale, that's a good ending.
Well, like the dog ending in Silent Hill 2.
The dog ending?
Oh my goodness, I don't want to spoil that. Go look up dog ending Silent Hill 2.
I want to.
See, I don't consider the the Undertale genocide ending. This is a weird tangent to get on. Like
this by all means,
but like the Undertale genocide ending is like it's satisfying because it's a challenging ending. Like those fights are hard on purpose. Like you're pulling out like the best of each of these characters you're killing. So like. That's awesome in and of itself to actually beat them just as someone playing a difficult game. But like the whole end of it was like, oh, so you want to go back and do things again, huh? All right, cool, I'll let you. But, plot twist aside at the end of them now, your save file's corrupted on purpose.
That was a pain to fix.
It's
you just set the file to read only and the game can't touch it and therefore it's
you
fixed.
You can reverse it.
Yeah. Oh no, I reversed it. It was just Google foo.
Yeah. the whole idea of it is that it wants you to play through it again. So I don't really consider it like really an ending. Like it is an ending in terms of just the structure of the game, but like fitting into the narrative, I don't consider that the ending.
You know what's funny is I still wasn't done talking about my highlights.
No, make it happen.
We do this every
time.
It's always during my highlights. It's like when you're like the star of the show and then everyone else pushes you out of the way.
To be fair, this is your fault for opening a question to the floor.
Oh, that's true, you did.
I was talking about had a full though, and you just kind of.
But no, you said, what do you guys want to see?
And I had a full playthrough, not like everything.
You asked for our input.
Itself.
Our input is not a straight line. It's like branching dialogue for days.
It's like birds scattering to the four winds.
It's that one last tangent. It's this old like Winnie the Pooh cartoon where like it's like raining constantly and Piglet cracks open the door and it all just floods into his house.
And Piglet cracks open a cold, barks with the boy.
She says drinking a Coke Zero.
Well, that's got the branding down.
Diet barks, all bite, no guilt.
Did you know who created Barks?
Joseph Barks.
Daniel K. Barks.
It's a Coke product. I'm supporting.
Well, they
Coke.
bought it in '95, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so therefore I am supporting Barks
You're on brand.
directly by drinking cherry Coke.
That's appropriate.
Cherry Coke. It doesn't have bite, but that's okay.
Because we have it for it.
It's our zero sugar cousin.
I think our tangent's over, Aaron.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to give a shout out to the Spuds.
Hey!
Yo!
I
Spuds.
don't even remember the name of the game we played, but it was a good one.
That was actually no. I'll add that to my
really?
favorite parts. No,
Because
just Towerfall and Clusterpuck. That's all I'm gonna say. That was fun as hell. That was super fun.
Well, say what you want to say, and then I'll add on to the Spuds thing afterwards.
I had another thing to mention.
Well,
what
go
else?
on.
But no, I don't remember it now.
Well, you think about it and you add on for the Spud stuff.
There's a bad history with the Spuds and us and our recordings not kind of coming out as much as well as we would like, but
yeah.
You guys aren't in the room with us. You don't know how good of a time it is gaming with those nerds from Connecticut. That is probably like MagFest is coming up in like 3 weeks or so for us now.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're playing anything with the Spuds. I hope we are.
Are the Spuds
What
going
would we
to be
play?
Yeah, they'll be there.
Good.
We'll brainstorm it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll figure
I
some
was
way
going
to
to bring
either get it out
MagFest
there.
to them if they weren't.
Just take the entire Gaylord up to Connecticut.
Well, it's next to a harbor. We could get out the Potomac, up the Eastern Seaboard.
Okay.
And like
Just need a boat.
yeah, we could get them to meet us at Hartford or
We
something.
need like an entire like flotilla to bring the harbor up there.
Their convention center is right next to a hotel also. Like, it's pretty much like a mini Gaylord.
That's true.
Oh, I was going to
Plotting.
mention Shapes and Beats too. That was
Ah, Shapes and Beats.
I mean, I feel like the majority of our success this year came from Hatful, but we'll give a little bit of credit to Shapes and Beats.
Now there's a hot take.
It was like the most anticipated game of the decade for our channel.
It was for you guys.
It
That's
was
up your alley.
For you guys, like. Yikes.
It was weird for me because I had never seen a comma in our views category before, and like it changes like the structure and the layout. And if you've ever done like the YouTube analytics thing, it scales it based on like your video stuff. And all of a sudden, there was this weird thing where like the 4-ish years of footage we had been this like nice little spike of analytics, and then it all just went like boom because there was this mountain at the end. So it like threw the bell curve out of whack, and all our analytics got like shot by it this year because it got like 3 orders of magnitude more watches. Like most of our videos somewhere, like I get excited every time I see a video hit the 100 view mark. Like
Right.
to me, that's always a thing I always like to brag about in our Discord.
In
or
our
whatever.
episode 1 is up to like 4,000 views or something.
It's stupid. As of this, could be even higher than that.
Good
so.
lord.
Yeah.
We're still talking about Hatful.
I know, right?
We also usually like to cover in our recap episodes. We like to talk about we've looked back, now we look forward, what we're looking forward to in Season 5. Because Season 5 is happening. We don't do a recap unless we got another season following up. And
the last season we ever do, our recap video is going to be 10 seconds. It's all just going to be us just dropping a mic and fading to black. Don't you forget about
last season. It's like one of those shows that you just have to keep going forever.
Yeah, like The
Keep also
Simpsons.
We all
Yeah.
die eventually, Aaron.
No,
But for
none of us have
Let
yet.
our AIs go on.
That's right.
We're already dead.
Aw.
procedurally generated content.
Hey, procedurally generated Let's Play. Now
Yes.
we're interesting.
Yes. Train a bot to play a game. have it write its own script and make its own dialogue. Easy.
Well, since we've started the channel, they've gotten so good that they beat the world's best Go player. Like, no problem. I think it was like 4 games to 1, like an effortless win for the AI over. And no one thought Go, with its permutations, would be beaten the way chess was. So,
Right.
you know, now they've got that same AI as mastering, I think, StarCraft 2, is they were just dumping tens of thousands of StarCraft 2 games into it. So, yeah, who knows? We could just wire up the Winterion AI here, and it could start knocking out Let's Plays by the time we're dead and gone.
Fetch us some more viewers.
I think they're going to destroy us before they fetch us more viewers.
Well, if Boston Dynamics is anything to go off
Those
of,
monsters.
those guys are going to get us killed.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the day that the robots take over, just overthrow humankind.
You know,
Man,
Then you can nap.
if they want to get me like some cybernetic implants, I'm cool with that.
We'll meet them halfway.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
that
like
works.
I'll never be full bot. There's too much flesh and blood happening here. But like, if you want to just like make me a cyborg, I'm good.
It's the opposite of Deus Ex. I did ask for this.
It's like, I totally asked for this. More, please. It's like, there's still some skin on my arm. If you could fix that, that would be great.
All right, so we went left to right for season 4 stuff. Let's go. I guess I said right to left for us, but for
Yeah,
Aaron.
no, I know what you meant.
The other direction.
Okay, so
What's on your radar?
I think this is another thing we've been passing from seasonal generation to generation. Did we mention Crystallis? I feel like we brought it up for the past 2
Oh
or
my
3
gosh!
He's
I
been
know.
practicing it.
I was
I
was
saw.
playing it earlier today.
I'm looking forward to it. Now that it's on the Switch, we could probably record it
That's true.
Easily.
It's true.
with the better controller, the superior controller.
Yes, as long as it's charged.
Yes. Charge that.
So there's that. I didn't really give it much thought because ever since Hatoful, I feel like I don't want to do that to myself again. Like, here's what's going to happen in 5 seasons.
Right.
So, it's Crystallis. Please look forward to it. More pinball. I actually really enjoy pinball.
Yeah, that's true. We took season 4 off as I promised, so season 5, I think it's back on the table. My apologies.
Hey, we've already forgotten about Lori Bomb now, so it's all good.
No, we
Until
haven't.
now. I just want more challenge episodes, I think. Not like anything like Burger Time.
Right.
You are never gonna let this go.
I really hate that game. It's like everything you love about fast food made into a game.
Well, there
Just
are some-
No! We should play Overcooked.
That would be fun.
That would be so fun to suffer through that one. That is like one of my least favorite games I've ever played. Let's do it.
Yeah, that might be fun to try out.
And this is why we have her on the channel. She's the one who thinks suffering is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone here has to. So I think we should make that like a couples challenge episode.
Oh no! I can't cook in real life.
Oh, I got your back.
Maybe it's the opposite in games where if you can't cook in real
Okay.
life, so.
Maybe there's cheat codes.
It's just so. The game is so stupid.
That's good. No food service industry PTSD for me.
The cheat code is MSG.
Yeah, exactly. You have a microwave.
The cheat code is like the special seasoning that somehow makes everything better. Just sprinkle some of this on top and it's edible.
That's about all I have to
So
offer for next season. That's it.
That'd be good.
All right. So things I'm looking forward to next season. I need to be honest with you guys for a second here. Last recap we did for last season, I was like, here's 3 games I'm going to do for sure this season. Guess what didn't happen? So I'm going to have to like finally sit down and actually do those. The biggest one is Silius. That's been on the table since season 1.
Crystallis and Silius were the 2 games that came out in the last Switch update.
Oh, and I didn't know
Those
that.
2 games.
sign.
Too. I was like, this is a thing, right?
Okay.
Like this was meant to be because those were both on for a long time.
Oh, well, now we don't have to like not quite emulate it. So that's cool.
Hey, we've got the NT Mini. That's not emulation. That's FPGA, baby.
So you're saying you're completely serious about playing this season?
All right, so that's 3 down. Who else is going to make terrible puns? We've got 2 left standing that haven't done it yet.
You can't just plan puns.
No, you can't. They're just
It's true.
Yeah.
You gotta be punctual.
All right, Alex, it's up to you.
Alex! Last person standing, Alex wins!
All right, there's one big game. I'm not going to say what it is because I want you to watch the last second of the video to hear the little whale call at the end.
Stay tuned.
Ooh,
Because-
Secret of Mana.
We already did that. It was amazing. I almost cried.
But at the end of all of these recap videos, go back and watch them if you haven't. There's a little hint to what game we're playing.
The breadcrumb.
Yeah. So the game I'm starting the next season with is something that's really taken a hold of me personally. It's one of my favorite games of all time now. So I'm really looking forward to getting that started. So between that and finishing the ongoing games we have right now, Halo 2 and Dicey Dungeons, I don't know when we're going to finish that. That game is a
Dicey
mess.
can just keep on rolling as far as I'm concerned.
Hey.
We all get one, Dan.
Are you taking mine?
It was just
there
right
you go.
there.
There you go.
This is right there on the table.
The only way not to win is to not play.
The War Games rule. Yes.
Trying to have fun here.
Can we have a let's watch of War Games? I would love to watch that movie again. It's one of my favorite movies.
I don't know if YouTube would let us get away with it, but
Probably not.
MST3K it or something. Because I think what Rift Tracks had to do is they watched it, and then they recorded themselves watching it, and what you have to do is you have to download their podcast of them watching it, and you have to watch the movie yourself.
You have to do the Dark Side of the Moon.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz thing, and hit play buttons at the same time.
It's like the old Magnavox Odyssey. You have to put the transfer applique of the tennis court on top of the TV
Oh my God.
so that the game looks like tennis. Good times.
Yeah.
Is there any good way to record that?
No.
Okay. Short of going back to 2002 with
We'll
the
get to that
webcam
after we do
recordings.
the Virtual Boy.
So here's the link
Okay.
to the overlay, guys, in the comments below. Go ahead and download that, tape it to your screen, and then we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, take this to Kinko's if that still exists. But yeah, that's it for me. I think it's finishing ongoing projects and then this brand new thing that I'm really excited to get started.
Yee.
Matt?
So, Aaron already mentioned Crystallis. Definitely want to play that. Star Fox 64. I've been playing that ad nauseum and really want to get around to knocking that out.
We did, and it went pretty well.
Oh yeah, what happened with that? The recording.
Yeah, we have occasionally had recording issues here in the studio, and unfortunately, Star Fox 64's audio bit the big one, so that never survived. That could have been a season 4. So I guess it's going to have to be a season 5.
Like I said, really excited to record Star Fox 64 for the first time.
Well, it might as well be because I've forgotten everything I've said. So
Hey, fresh banter.
Fresh banter.
Well, that
fresh,
fresh
never
bands.
frozen banter.
Yeah, you kind of the whole
what it sounded like?
yeah, it was.
That's unfortunate.
It was brutal.
That's how I sound like anyway.
Aw.
And I don't know. I wasn't on a whole lot of long playthroughs last season. I think Halo 2 was really the only one. Would like to do Undertale, probably.
That'd be a good one to do, since we mentioned it.
Yeah, and ambitious, but Metroid Prime.
That's an
true.
ambition.
Really want to get to the Wii playthrough of that.
Oh my! I just
Uh-oh.
remembered
Do you
something
remember
from
one?
season 1.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so I was like, why don't we just play something that we can all get together and make choices, like a Telltale game or something? I have had all of the what was it? What Telltale game was it? Not
The Wolf Among Us?
No. Oh,
Walking Dead.
I love. Thank you, Walking
Walking Dead.
I have
Oh.
all of the Walking Dead games on Steam, just sitting
That would be
there.
good. That would be really good.
Because we were gonna play them, but I was like, why don't we just all take turns making a decision or something? That'd be fun.
What's the game that came out for PS4 that lets you play with your phones, that you just choose your own adventure type game, kind of like, what was the PS4, the horror game?
Until Dawn?
Until Dawn. It's like Until Dawn,
you were
except
talking about
everyone makes the decisions, and
I know
there's
what
a
you're talking
co-op. There's a co-op or a competitive where everyone has their own
Oh,
agenda.
that's neat.
Oh man, am I gonna have to put an info box of,
Yeah, I was
of
gonna say,
myself
we'll
in the
Google it
recap?
and get back to you.
That'd be a lot
That
of fun.
sounds fun. Sorry, go on.
Anyway,
That guy.
Dan.
Oh, there have been a few. First and foremost is I have been practicing Solar Striker, and I think for maybe 2 recaps now I've said I want to record it for the channel. But it is not a game you can really continue with, and I don't want to use an emulator. I want to actually play it and beat it end-to-end. And right now I'm only at about 30 to 40% where I can actually go through the game in a playthrough. I'm usually dying somewhere on the 4th or 5th boss. So I've got to get good enough that I can do a single run of that, but that's one I want to do. So that's it's a small game, but that's a one in our list. Another one that we had recorded actually quite a ways back and lost the recording of that I want to do is Monopoly.
Oh yeah.
No.
We had played a very specific version of Monopoly that meant a lot to me and the guy who made it. And I want to talk a little bit about that story and about him. And it's a DOS game. The sound is atrocious and wonderful all at once. But that's a big one. I want to get the gang back together and play that. Longer form stuff, I think it depends on what the community wants to do writ large, but if time affords, it may be time to bust out Suikoden 2.
Ooh.
I don't know if we have a long form RPG planned for next season.
He said Suikoden 2. I have to go practice it now.
But that might be like, I feel like it's been long enough that it might be time to break out our old, was it Morpheus McDole?
Yeah.
So it'll be...
I still have the file. Like, it's still ready to go to carry over.
So we can McDole the McDole instead of Tickdole or Tickdole or whatever weird bug they had for that.
Yeah, it was the first letter of your character's name.
Same one, because it didn't take the whole thing.
Yeah, they took the first letter. So if you named yourself Richard, like I did, like a tool. When
RC Dole.
Yeah, it was Rick Dole. So just...
Never gonna give you up.
And then obviously you mentioned it, but I think it'd be fun to bust another pinball game out.
Yeah.
I don't want to say which. There's a few that we could.
He doesn't want to say which because it's going to be 8 of them.
Yeah, but that would be especially another good way to work some challenge episodes and to get another pinball game into season 5.
Yeah.
I would love to play the Monopoly again because that was the only challenge game I've ever won.
That's right. You
It's
did.
so tragic.
You did win our Lost Monopoly recording.
Also, were you insinuating that Monopoly's not a long-form playthrough?
This one actually wasn't. This one only took us like an hour to get through.
Yeah,
that's true, actually.
Yeah, we kind of steamrolled through it.
Yeah, I think it's because I went out like super early
Because I suck at Monopoly.
We didn't even have to
Same,
play.
though.
We didn't have to play the Miss. What is it called? Missopoly.
Miss Monopoly.
Oh,
What
yeah.
a travesty.
How about you, Alex?
I think I want to play some things that I've never played before. So, what I've been kind of looking into...
You are in the right house. Look
I
right
know,
back there and
but
pick one.
Also
We'll go.
short games. Like,
Okay.
I've been thinking about doing, like, some edutainment type things.
Oh, that's right. We bought the humongous stuff, so we've got all
Oh, some
those.
of those I haven't played. Like, I never played any of the Star Fox.
Oh.
I'd like to play, like,
Spy
mixed up
Fox.
fairy tales or, like...
Math Blaster.
the Adventures of Dr. Brain. Which
Yo, let's go.
It scared me with its, like... logic puzzles, and I think I'm old enough now that maybe I can take it.
You also have backup.
You come to the
We are
right
here.
place.
We can do this.
We need a manual, though.
Oh man.
Oh, I probably have the hint book.
We probably still have the hint book
Good.
too.
Yeah.
Like Dad's hint book.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, because the first puzzle, you have to, like, go through and find the code, so it's
Yeah.
copyright
so you need
protection
the
or whatever.
manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Those are really good though.
But yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to playing games I haven't played. Oh, like the Nancy Drew. Does that count as edutainment?
Yeah, well,
I haven't played any.
kind
of those.
of. That's a good like age specific. You don't have a lot of games that are like not necessarily edutainment, but are like age specific games, like
Yeah.
games meant for kids.
That's true.
You know, so that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be epic. It would
And we've
just
been watching a lot of mystery stuff anyway lately,
Right.
like Poirot's
Like Knives Out.
and yeah. So
I feel like we had a putt-putt game planned.
Oh yeah.
Which
Yes,
one? Goes
Zoo?
to the zoo because I want to see him drink the hot chocolate.
Okay. I've never played that one either. I did the Moon.
Oh yeah.
And the Circus.
The Moon was the first one we played.
That is the original.
That was the first. Is it the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. No, but I made sure to get that humble humongous pack.
The Hundle.
The Hundle.
The Hundle bundle.
The Hundle bundle.
The Hubble Bubble.
Yeah, I got the Baba Wawa, and so whichever one of those you want to fire up, we can definitely do that.
The Spy Fox are good.
Dude, those were
Yeah.
quality games.
Jam Sam. Fatty Bear because you could just make a birthday cake all day. Every
I just
day.
loaded that up for the bowling minigame and did literally
too.
nothing else.
Meanwhile, all of our Shapes and Beats viewers are right now are just like, what the
What's
hell
a
are they
fatty
talking
bear?
What's
about?
Patty Bear's
What's-
birthday
Just
surprise.
play more
Well,
Shapes
Is
and
that
Beats.
a streamer?
Oh,
So
we
you
could
kids
do-
had Fortnite.
We could do the bowling and then do the Wii bowling, where it's like the power.
Yeah.
The power
Oh,
throws.
100 bowling?
Bow.
Wii bowling might be actually a fun challenge.
That'd
I'm
be
not
a
opposed to
great
Wii bowling.
Yeah, I
Just
Ooh,
what about a Wii sport like an
Well,
just in
Olympics, like a
general.
Wii
Or what about
Olympics?
the Zelda crossbow game?
Yeah, the crossbow,
Link's crossbow
training.
training, yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
a
best
good
Wii
one.
game.
That's a good point because we
Ever.
did California Games. We did it like thing by thing. We
Mhm.
went
All
through
right,
the whole.
season 5, the season of Wii Shovelware. Let's go. Let's.
You can make a whole channel on Wii Shovelware.
We
I
really
feel like we
could.
talked about this last season, did we not?
Winterion.
That's all right.
No. I mean, like now it has to be a thing. 'Cause
Right.
That's solidified.
It's
Alright.
it's in there.
Yeah.
If we need a bunch of short form like the same amount of episodes, just more series, we shovelware. We got it.
Hold us accountable. Comment frequently, demanding games that we say we're going to play in recap episodes.
Good or bad.
Yeah, if someone out there, some brave soul, just on every episode we release until I do it, could just be like, "This is great, I loved it, but where's Journey to Silius?
Where is it? Where is it?"
That could be our bookworm adventure.
What else do we have to talk about?
I guess conventions. So we got to panel up at a couple conventions this year. MagFest was one of them back in January. But a big one was Too Many Games. Too Many Games, fine people out there in Philly have invited us out, for a few years now. And we got the two of you up on the panel this time.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
You got me talking about the thing that I probably know the most about, so that was pretty neat.
And I got to smile and nod. It was great.
So, yeah, and I think the nice thing about doing that genre, RPG genre panel is it got me to dig back a little bit and kind of reconsider, what caused what, because, I do teach the video game history thing from time to time, and it's one of those things where I always think about games the way I learn to think about them, is the way I think about art or movies or books is from an appreciation standpoint, what does the era mean? What does it mean context specific to when we played it or when it came out? And I think that has a lot to do with it. Like we were saying, well, what does this game mean to somebody in '89? What does this game mean to somebody in '93? And thinking that way really helped me a lot, in the panel and putting together sort of what mattered and when. But we have a panel as well in a few weeks.
Wow.
So MagFest 2020 will be doing a panel on full motion video games.
Oh,
That's
nice.
honestly fascinating.
I know, you want to be there.
It's just a
I just
rabbit
wish we
hole.
could put all the video into the panel.
Yeah.
Maybe do a reference. If you want to come to this panel, please watch.
Just stack because we've been doing Boku research for that one.
My eyes are bleeding from terrible FMV.
I've seen some stuff too.
Yeah.
Just about to go to bed, I feel like I'm already asleep. What am I watching?
What are they watching? Are they watching Harvester again?
So look forward to that. Hopefully you'll be able to make it out to National Harbor, Maryland. If you can't, as always, the MagFest panels do get posted on YouTube. So sometime in the future, that'll be up on MagFest channel, and we'll try to take it out and Reddit it and have it here in the channel as well.
Sweet.
Yep.
What else we got going on?
I don't know. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye to everybody and move on to...
Fantasy thoughts.
Oh,
Richard and I have been streaming.
Yes.
Richard's been kicking ass. You've been playing Dark Souls right now, correct? I
I
already said ass.
So, I've been getting... He says I've been kicking ass. I've been getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
As you do.
As you do when one plays Dark Souls. Yeah, I've been playing Dark Souls, and I've also been going back to the old... I need to talk to the Spuds again.
Right.
Hey, guys, if you're watching this, I need to talk to you again about this. We mentioned wanting to do a Diablo 2 cooperative playthrough. Yeah, Diablo 2. It was one of my favorite games. Something I played way too much of growing up. It's probably why I got straight C's in high school.
More C's.
Oh, all right.
strong.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's the spelling of that in my head is just Morcus.
Morcus and Mindius.
Morcus and... Anyways, but yeah, no, I've been streaming a lot of stuff like that. He's been streaming... What are you streaming these days right now?
Not much. I haven't been able to.
What was the last one?
No,
was it Galaxy's Edge or...
What?
No, that's the freaking theme park. That was Outer Worlds. That's all you
Outer
played.
Worlds, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
You were playing Void Bastards before that?
Yeah, a little bit of Void Bastards. Just random multiplayer, competitive games like Counter-Strike or PUBG or random stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, but you can find us twitch.tv/morecs, twitch.tv/MauserTV.
Mauser TV.
Or Mixer. Do you
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence.
We're gonna talk about Mixer.
Okay. As I know, sometimes you kind of go back and forth. But,
yeah.
all right, we're all dead.
There it is.
We all lost.
There it is.
Try.
All right. Nobody wins this season.
Game over.
And then I guess we have some...
Yeah, I guess it's not really panel related.
It's not panel related, but this one said yes. So, come September.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Love you.
There will be a very nerdy party in September.
Yes, yeah. And we'll be celebrating, we're swinging out to Vegas later this year to celebrate the only way we know how, by visiting the Pinball Museum.
Of course.
Typical.
Yeah. And seeing some shows.
It'd be a good time.
But we're definitely looking forward to that.
Imagine if you weren't looking forward to that.
I know.
Right? See, I'm looking forward to going in there, flying over with $20 in my pocket, and making a major windfall that'll pay the rest of my expenses for that trip. It's fine, guys. It'll go great.
I love the optimism.
I don't think
I wish that for you.
I don't think they'll let us do a live episode from like a floor in Vegas, like bring the cameras in and sit by a slot machine.
No, Bruno and Tiny will escort us right the hell out of there.
It's a let's play. It's a let's play.
You probably could do
There he is.
Pinball.
You could do pinball.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We could totally take the equipment out and do a remote.
Or just talk. Ooh, we're talking about like me at like the craps table or something, like, you know, recording me losing all my money. Like, oh look, you can stop at that frame. You can see the exact moment his heart splits in half.
Spending all my money.
Yeah, you're gonna get me playing the craps. I'm gonna like roll snake eyes. So this is the problem you run into with craps: is you get RNG moments like this, and the dealer's gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking?"
So I'm going to shake it 3 times. It saves a couple frames, but.
Oh, I have one more person I wanted to thank, and I need to go grab a thing to thank them. So I will be right back. Stall.
Super cut.
Oh
wait, he's not gonna cut it.
Wait, we're not cut. We gotta talk about stuff. So
Now the pressure's
So
on.
let's just stare directly into the screen for like 5 minutes and just make everyone super uncomfortable.
That's an option. Well, you know what I'm gonna do then? I'm gonna start like giving some shout outs here because we never do this on the channel.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Square Painter
Square
is an
Painter!
awesome guy. We just have some of this like swag around the office.
Yeah.
So like here's this, here's a Tetris
I think
piece.
Here's this.
All right.
All right, he's back. I don't
I'm
know if
back.
he's going. I'm on the
Oh,
first
yeah.
now.
Yeah, you.
That's a
see
thing.
the
It is
silver?
a thing.
I forgot
So
about that.
for like 2.5 years now, I have had the distinguished honor of working with a lot of writers on this lovely tome. This is the
that is a
Ultimate
tome.
Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library.
Can you edit in like the Zelda? Da na na na.
You got the book.
So this has been a blast to work on, but it has been a major time consumer as well. But it's been worth every moment. So just want to thank Pat, Ash, all of the other writers that were involved. I'll throw all the names down here. There's a bunch of us. Thank you so much. It was an absolute honor to get to work with you. And who knows what's coming down the pipe? We'll just have to see what Pat says.
It's a Goomba.
you know it's a quality book when you can put someone in the hospital with it.
Oh yeah, this. I was thinking about like the Seinfeld episode, the coffee table book, like with the little, it is the coffee
Oh,
table.
it's hefty.
This
Absolute
That
charm.
might be
is the weight of the golden age of gaming. You're
Right.
So we had a dictionary growing up that was like 5 times the size, and I'm pretty sure this is still heavier. It's dense with knowledge.
Yeah.
dense with quality.
So
Beautiful.
by the time this comes out, you probably won't be able to get a copy for Christmas, but I, as an author of about 10% of it, I highly advise picking up a copy of this. This is it's a beautiful tome, and if you're a fan of the SNES the way that we are, you're going to get a lot out of it. So there's that.
What else we have going on?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
We have no lives.
No, we just kind of sit down here and play games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that died in our last season, though.
That's true. We do have the weight of saying that the season would not have been possible without a lot of people that we met along the way, and not all of them made it to the end. So we'd like to take a moment and pause and reflect on those who are no longer with us.
Please press F now.
And that's about it.
Is that a wrap?
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
about
much
all
a
I
wrap.
got.
Yeah.
I said everything past and present that I need to say, so I'm good. When's lunch?
Now,
I'm
you wanna
actually
do lunch?
really hungry.
Ooh,
Yeah.
actually, low-key starving.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to lunch.
All right. We're gonna go eat. You go eat. Grab something.
Go eat, drink.
Stay
Stay
hydrated.
hydrated, gamers. It's,
Very important.
Can't say it enough. Stay hydrated. Good posture matters. I say leaning over.
I know,
this
right?
one.
None of us here have
Matters.
matters.
Thanks to all of you for watching. Thanks to Barks. Thanks to 50 years of game history.
Please
for-
sponsor us.
Yes. Special shout out to those of you who've been with us for all 4 years. You guys
Oh my
really
God.
are the coolest. Thank you so much for hanging out as long as you have. And we'll see you for probably more than that.
And one last shout out. Thank you to us for making it this far in life.
I'd like to thank me for being so great that the Academy understood that they had to give me this award.
All right.
Nailed it.
Cool. Well, happy holidays to all of you. Thank you for coming out again, and we'll see you next season.
See you then.
I quit. You beat me twice. Alright, well, calm down.
Now we're back to Mario.
Yeah, right.
Da 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 da.
The wizard couldn't fight an outcome. I'm not.
That's my thought.
I'm not on board
Seems
with you right
pretty
now.
powerful.
It's all sides.
Aaron and Richard. Got
Oh, almost ninja'd it. Oh, that was close. You might experience some slight lag.
Stop giving me extra lives.
Is he waving his own head around?
Yes, he was waving his own head around.
Good talk.
Oh! Nailed it.
Oh, we can take the 98. How charming.
Oh my god, that really just went downhill. Like,
Okay. So
wait. So bird watching in this game is just stalking?